Good morning, it's 6:36 a.m. on Saturday morning. Let's talk about coffee enemas. Now, when I first heard about coffee enemas, I was very skeptical. I certainly didn't want to try it. I didn't even actually like hearing the stories about other people doing them. The person who introduced them to me was a man. His name was Russell. And as he began to tell me the stories about what it was doing for other people, I began to get really interested in it. My partner at the time, she started doing them, and I saw changes in her, and I was like, wow, maybe I need to try this. I want change in my life. Like I want something new. So there's plenty of claims out there about what they do. I'm not a doctor. I don't know anything. I literally know nothing. But I was hearing stories, whether they're true or not, about it curing cancer, helping with emotion, lots of different claims. I don't know if they're true or not, but I wanted to try it. I had a lot of emotion stored in me that I was hanging on to. The man said to me that I should do one enema a day for 7 days to begin with, to see what changes would happen. And so I did that, and it changed my life. So much stored emotion from my childhood disappeared. I was able to feel it and let it go. And that was a huge benefit to my life, especially when you're a male. Like if you've been brought up in my, born in the mid-80s, we were taught as males to not feel anything. Like we were supposed to be these strong, like to be in the army was something to be looked up to. Like you should be able to shoot people without feeling anything. And I remember seeing my grandfather cut his arm open on a barbed wire fence, and there was blood going everywhere, and I was only young, less than maybe second grade. And I told him, "You're bleeding." He said, I haven't got time to bleed. I haven't got time to feel. I haven't got time to feel. And I was like, wow, like I want to be like him. Like I don't want to feel anything. So I had a lot of stored emotions that I never looked at in me. So I experienced a really big emotional shift in my life. That was really good. And so that changed my life in a way where I could deal with this place easier. Like my fuse, so what it took for me to go from normal to angry was very short. I had a very short fuse. I couldn't deal with much. I had too much emotion going on inside me. So my fuse got a lot longer from the coffee enemas. And that part of it was amazing, but that wasn't even the most beneficial thing that I got from it. And this is the part that the movie is actually about. Like the coffee enema, I speak highly of it, but it was more what it did to my life while doing it that was the big thing. So when you're doing something like a coffee enema, in my experience, it wasn't a comfortable thing to do. I felt weird doing it. It's one of those things that you can't feel like there's many people that you can talk to about it. So there was a lot of things standing in the way of me doing it. But when I did it, what I found was, because of the life that we live here in Australia, it's different in other countries, but in Australia, we work a lot, like 40 hours is considered normal. The thing with that is that you don't have any more time. You know, if you've got kids, you're kind of up in the morning, sometimes sadly even gone before your kids wake up. You work all day, you come home, pick them up from school, get them fed. It's dark already. They go to bed. So your life is very full. So we don't really have time to stop and just sit and be still. Like, we don't have it. And it's very important for people to stop just for a little bit. And this is what the enema did to me. It because it was so uncomfortable, and I was doing something completely foreign and putting something in where things normally come out. There's a lot of strange things happening with this. So when you stop, you get to see everything. Like, you're not overwhelmed with trying to stay on top of everything in your life. Like, there's a lot of things in life that are knocking on your minds. But you're doing coffee enema, I was very much out of my comfort zone. So when you're out of your comfort zone doing something like a coffee enema, I found that I was very present. Like, I was very aware of what I was doing, because it was so new and strange. Like, it was so out of my routine, that I was more present. Like, I had to be like, okay, this is what I do next. This is weird. Like, I was there. And it gives you the space to breathe. So every time, it's like a meditation. You're just focused. And so every time I did the enema, I was forced into this kind of like a meditation time. Like, you were going to be more focused in that moment. And because I was aware of it being emotional stuff with this, I would actually listen to I think it's a 1 hour mix on YouTube, like piano and stringed instruments, emotional music. And it was really good to, it was like open the heart, was to be very present in this moment while I'm holding in a lot of coffee. And then to be fully focused on this music that will make your heart feel something. So I would be laying there focused on this music, and I would lay a t-shirt or something across my eyes just to block out any distractions. If you can see stuff, your mind will find things to comment about, or, you know, like, oh, the painting on the wall is good. Like, it'll find things to think about. So if you just cover your eyes, I found it really helped with focusing with your ears only, like really listening to the music, and being in this situation and focusing on music. I could hear music differently. Like, I can listen to the song not doing this, and I mean I love it, but then if I do it while doing a coffee enema, it's like you can hear it a lot clearer, and it really speaks to me. And so that was the biggest thing that I found came out of it, was, you know, also having the awareness that we don't have much of this in our life. We're very busy doing things, and also, yeah, actually doing it. Like, and then you'll begin to want that, like the peace that you feel in that, like you're gonna want that. So you'll continue to, I mean, and I'm not saying you have to do an enema to get there or to do that, but if you haven't experienced the peace of being fully present and focused on something, it's a good idea to find a way to get that somehow in your life. Like really seek that, because once you know that something exists, like you've felt it and experienced it, your reality changes. And then if that's something that you want, which it will be, you're going to continue to find ways to get there, because it's gonna open your eyes to this almost like the state that you're in, that you've been living in your whole life, and because if you haven't experienced that peace, you actually don't know that it exists, so you're not even looking for it. That's what I found with me anyway. People would ask me, you know, what was your childhood like? And mine was very numb. Like I don't have a lot of emotional, like, times along the timeline where it was good. Like I don't, and that doesn't mean that it wasn't good. It just means that I was most likely in pain about something, and I couldn't really see my life, what was happening. My life seemed very just the same, like emotionally just the same, which wasn't good nor bad. It's just like there was no feeling. There was just surviving via logic and trying to work this world out, trying to work out, like, you know, like, so how do I do everything? Most people are too busy to really explain things to you. Like they're really busy. So now, yeah, people are probably even busier, working 2-3 jobs. So people don't have a lot of time to explain. So you try to work this place out. How do I do everything? And there's so many different ways of doing everything, and then you have to work out how to deal with people, which is what I find to be the hardest, is dealing with people. I don't know how to do it properly. Everybody's just so different. Like everybody's so different, and everybody's lives have molded them into this person that they're just so different. Like you can't. It's hard to know how to deal with people. Like everybody's very sensitive. They don't like the truth anymore. Like if you tell people the truth, they sometimes get angry. Some people, and delivery apparently is something important about that. I'm learning about this because I've always spoken the truth, just straight out, like, because I'd always felt like, because it was the truth, like I could feel that it's the truth, it was okay just to tell the truth, because that's the most important thing. But you're supposed to speak it in love, and that's what I'm learning now, is to try and do that, because like my childhood, there wasn't much love, so I don't have like a real understanding of it. before something that happened in my life, which I'll talk about later. Before that, I didn't know, like I didn't have, it wasn't part of my reality. So I wasn't, even though I was seeking it my whole life, I looked for it everywhere, often for long periods of time, even though it wasn't working. So I didn't understand it. So if you don't know what you're looking for, you can't find it. It's like, it's hard to find something that you've never felt before. But once you feel it, once you experience it, you won't stop looking for it. Like, I think the most important thing is to experience things, because you won't stop, because you know it's real, and you the contrast of your life before having that to after knowing it's real, and knowing that you can be in that, the contrast is so big. It's like life and death. So you're going to start to focus more of your life towards that, because it changes your life so much. So the secondary benefit of doing the enema was actually the best thing. Having this time in your life where you can't focus on anything else. Like, you trust me, when you've got 3/4 of a liter of coffee inside you that your body wants to get out, you're going to be very focused, like very focused, and your focus on that itself will go down if you continue to do it. Like, let's say you kind of get better at doing enemas, like you understand it more, and your body will relax, and you won't have to, what I found was that your awareness of your body really increases, and you can kind of talk to it and just say, like, body, I'm gonna be sticking things in, where you're not used to that. Like, just trust me here, I'm not gonna hurt you. Like, talk to it like a person, somebody other than you, a different person. Don't talk to it how you would normally talk to yourself, if you already do, but just talk to it, tell it what you're gonna do. So your awareness of your body gets like heightened. So eventually, when you do a coffee enema, you'll be fine. You won't even have to think about it. You can actually really focus on the music, or a meditation, or whatever it is that you want to do. I do recommend having headphones in. It'll remove the rest of the world from your environment, because if you can hear things, especially if someone else is in the house, which it's better if you do it alone in the house, but mainly for your own feelings of releasing and just letting go of everything. In private it's easier, but you could be really loud, your emotions. I do recommend being naked when you do it, because you just don't feel constricted. It's like, it's almost easier to let go of the sense of feeling. Like, when you got clothes on, if you close your eyes and think about, like, I'm wearing jeans, like I can feel the jeans as stronger in certain parts, like down my legs. So it brings my awareness to something else. when you're naked, laying there, it's kind of like you can let go of your body, like your awareness of your body out. Anything that you're touching, you just feel, because you've got the towel over you, you feel comforted. Like, it feels like there's something comforting you. But you don't feel the constriction of the clothing, which is really good. I just kind of tried things as I went to find out, like, what felt, because I was doing it like an experiment. Like, I want this to work, and I want it to be as effective as possible. So I just changed things as I went to try and work out what worked for me. So being comfortable really worked for me. Yeah, so I recommend, I mean, I can do it without all that comfort stuff now, but I can just do it straight on the floor on a mat. But even now, doing it with all those comforts is actually really good, because it can still help me to relax a little bit more than when I don't have them. So yeah, for the benefits of what I experienced with my liver, dumping toxins, whether it's true or not, I felt a noticeable change, like an extremely noticeable change. And even if it was the placebo effect, I don't care. Like it doesn't take away what it's done, so I don't really care. So being comfortable is really important, and then if you can be alone in the house, it's even better. But if there are other people, it's okay. You just might struggle a little more, especially if you're really experiencing pain in your heart. You can hold it back. Like sometimes, in my experience, the pain was so much that I was almost howling like a wolf, just too much pain to verbally express. Like you lost control of it. It was painful, but really worth it. The peace that is on the other side going through these things is amazing. And once again, with that, if you haven't experienced that, seek that, because when you do, once again, it'll be night and day. You're really gonna go, that's the light, I want that. Like, I got to get out of this. It's like you woke up in the dark. It's like you were born into the dark, because we're that's all we know. We're just born there. We don't understand that anything else is capable. So when you see a bit of light, you're like, wow, that's so much brighter than what I've been in. I didn't even know I could have that or be in that. That's the most important thing. It's just seeing that and then going towards it. We don't know what the possibilities are that have been hidden from us or taken from us, and suppressed from everybody. So seek the light and seek the truth, no matter what.